And I think at my age now, I've learned to be a lot more resilient as a human being. But resilience is one thing. Doing something about your mental health is another thing. Think about all the lovely things in life that there are, not focus on the negative, but the calm, gratitude. Going back to when I had the menopause when I was 50, if I knew everything then that I know now, I think my transition through menopause would have been a lot easier. If you don't try, you can't succeed. Sometimes it's better to fail, but having tried than not try at all. I think my own mental resilience comes from a child. I've been through so many ups and downs. You know, my brother taking his own life, to challenges from living in England to moving abroad, from bullying throughout my industry. And I think at my age now, I've learned to be a lot more resilient as a human being. But resilience is one thing. Doing something about your mental health is another thing. So I'm not scared anymore to reach out for help. I'm not frightened to talk to somebody if I feel in a low, dark place. And I do all the possible things that I can to take care of myself, the plunging, the sauna, the yoga, the walking, getting out in some fresh air if I'm feeling really low and taking Charlie for an extra walk. Just generally reading up and saying, okay, I'm feeling great today, so I can do this, or I'm not feeling so great today, what can I add? So I'm always wanting to feel great, because there was a point where when I went through the menopause that I was in a really not great place. So even down to checking my hormone levels frequently, making sure that everything's in order. I do bioidentical hormones, that, you know, just making sure I'm in a good place all round. Like I say, if I take care of my body, maybe it'll take care of me for a little bit longer, you know. Think of the feet. Use the hips. Slowly lowering oneself. Woo. Get in. Immerse your arm and breathe. Chat to yourself. Think of all the lovely things in your life. How did that feel? This felt amazing because, like I said, I'd won in 1983, and then I came back with my first husband in 83 and came back in 95 to win with my second husband, and I won it again in 96. It was a long journey back. When everybody said in 83, you'll never ever do anything in this industry again, you're at the top of the tree, you're leaving, you're letting the United Kingdom down by leaving, because I went to America. Then I came back and trained my husband, who was a chef, to be a dancer. And we came back and won all those years later, 12 years later. Just a slow rise up.
Yes, that's the trophy on its own, isn't it?
Yeah, it's personal reasons, you know.
Yeah. Did you do any cold therapy when you were going through the menopause?
I didn't do as much as perhaps I should. I've always worked out, I was always searching, you know, I would do sort of like chiropractic work, I would do massage work, I've done all sorts of yoga, you know, Bikram yoga, hot yoga, cold yoga, saunas. I like saunas anywhere I had the opportunity. I think it's only in the latter years, in the last probably 8 to 10 years, that I've really learned about all these cold plunging and cryotherapy. Going back to when I had the menopause when I was 50, if I knew everything then that I know now, I think my transition through menopause would have been a lot easier. So just that general well-being, reaching out and talking to people, because I found when I spoke to people about the menopause, particularly men, they didn't really want to listen. Oh, you know what, you know, they don't understand what a strain it is on the body. I mean, we hit puberty and, you know, you're full of life and vitality, and, you know, just all the releases that you get from puberty is great, but then it goes the other end and you fall off the spectrum on the other end. And now I find that people talk a lot more about it. When I was 50, nobody wanted to talk about it. Even the doctor was quick to prescribe you an antidepressant, which I realized I just did not need. I needed more somebody who would talk to me. I needed more things like cold plunging. I needed more things like hot yoga. I needed to intensify different things, walking and being outside in the fresh air and getting that dopamine rush. I felt now, if I'd have known, I would have been a lot better off. There are ways to do things on a healthy aspect. watching your diet, watching what you eat. Like I say, to each his own. I'm not, criticising anybody for what they feel they need to do. But for myself, I would have been a much better 50-year-old if I'd have known then what I know now. A little more special, this one was a competition that we did in Germany that our coaches advised us not to dance in because the panel, it was very political, and the panel, we risked being beat by the German champion at the time. Anyway, I decided we'd go. We were resilient, we fought, and we managed to keep our place of third place and didn't get beat. So yeah, that was in 1992. So that was very, very special for me, just that trophy in itself.
What made you want to go when you were advised?
Because I believed that if we danced well, that there would be some honesty on the panel, perhaps, so it wouldn't be overly political. So prove to myself time and time again that you can, if you don't try, you can't succeed. Sometimes it's better to fail, but having tried than not try at all. What's great about the Strictly tour life for me, and also when my son's been on tour as well, on his own tours, is we get, like Gina, our masseuse, she gets these big tubs, full of ice. You can submerge yourself in the ice. You take at least a 30-minute to an hour massage with Gina daily or every other day. So when you go on the Strictly tour, they cater for this. They have Eat to the Beat, which does the most healthy juices and healthy food I think I've ever eaten on tour in my entire life. So I never worry about going on tour because all those things are taken care of, the ice baths, the massaging, the well-being, the food that you can eat. And remember, it's a choice. I'm just about to go. My yearly retreat, for my well-being, is to the Juicy Oasis. So what's really exciting when I go to the Juicy Oasis with Jason Vale is Brass Monkey's cold plunges are there. So I'm just going from home to home. I'm very, very excited. And I think probably it's going to be the best run for me ever, because this is the most prepared I've been for my own mental well-being. I can often do my prayers here and think about all the lovely things in life that there are, not focus on the negative, but the calm, gratitude, my friends, my family, grateful for still having my mum at 87, that warms me from the inside out. All my friends that surround me and help me be the person that I am.
If you had to pick one to take with you somewhere?
If I had to pick one, I'd probably have to pick which we don't have, the British Trophy. Winning the British Trophy in 1995 was the height there of my career, because everyone said we wouldn't, including my mum. Everybody said it wasn't possible. So,
how do you dig so deep to find that self-belief?
I don't think it was self-belief. I think it was a survival skill. I really needed to survive in the industry. So the harder, people say, oh, you were so lucky. No, it wasn't luck. The harder I worked, I became successful. So, and it's had lots of dips and ups and downs and around the tree and everything else that goes with trying to be successful in a male-dominated industry. So a lot of it was just a lot more proving to myself, or trying to see just how far I could go. How far can I go? I didn't know I was going to win, but how far can I go? If you think in 1983, Sammy and I were first. In 1984, Sammy was second. I made the first round with a new partner. I went right back to the starting block. To come back in 1995 and win first place and he was second was something that will go down in history for sure. I think everybody should try Brass Monkey. I couldn't single it down to any one particular person, because just from the dopamine rush and the way it makes your muscles feel, and you actually feel like your body goes like this, like cellophane. It feels like it shrinks everything. And also I feel it's good for your metabolism. And I'm all for anything at my age that can make the metabolism move a little bit faster. Because I know when I hit 55, my doctor here told me, everything with a salad, Shirley. And never forgot those words, everything with a salad, because your metabolism is going to slow down the older you get. And I am conscious of that. I'm very aware of that. So I just think any age, actually. Good for your muscles, good for your blood flow, good for your mental capacity, good for your mental health. Anyone who's going through, their hormones being off, the menopause or anything like that, could benefit from this, I feel.
That sort of survival, do you think you were just born with it, that survival instinct and that?
I don't know
kill
whether
that thing
I
you've
don't
got.
know whether I was born in it, but I think living on a housing estate with a single mother that had to go to work and had so many jobs and navigate your way from a young child to and from school, to and from dancing, just everything else. I chose to leave home at 14. That navigation taught me survival skills, I feel. Plus watching my mother, she never gives up on anything she does, nor does she ever complain. She never complained, ever, never. And even in COVID, when she was living on her own, not a negative word out of her mouth. So I think that it's just get on with it and see where it can go, you know, one life to live.